Pulling the Thread Podcast, episode 65. How come I only get this foam thing? How come I don't get like a spit shield or something?
Do you want one?
Is that what it's called?
Windscreen.
Windscreen?
I want one.
It'll cover your whole face almost.
That's all right. It'd be cool.
I want one of those old time mics. Looks like a thing you put on your car at an old drive-in.
Okay.
That's wire. That's held by wires.
I want to hang. Oh yeah, you want the World War II ones?
Yeah, that one.
You guys want all of those at once?
Can we do it? Is it? Can we do that?
Yeah.
I want it to hang from here, so when we stand up and rap battle.
Okay. You want like a ring announcer, like old mic that comes yeah, we could do that.
No, I want the one that's.
Got one.
I want the one that's suspended inside the circle.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's that usually has like a lightning bolt on it because it'll shock the shit out of you.
That's the one I want.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Perfect.
It'll make the podcast so much better.
So what's going on in the world? Are you aware?
Aware that the
have you become self-aware?
Aware that Russia is currently dealing with a civil war.
Are they?
Yep.
What's going on?
Two independent. They call them a brigade and a division, which is pretty big, but who knows?
How many people is that?
Well, a brigade is, it's a lot.
Comes with tanks and shit.
The reports that I heard is they only have like 6 tanks and half a dozen armored personnel carriers. But again, I mean, imagine
waking up this morning.
Imagine waking up this morning and 6 tanks and some armored personnel carriers rolled into Nashville. It would be a big deal. Like, it'd be a big deal for a little while, right?
Until those A-10 show up.
Yeah, until the A-10 show up. But if they use those, if they deploy them and you use them correctly, they can do a shit ton of damage before A-10s will get them. Because
what does the damage?
Really
the gun or the actual tank?
Oh, the gun. Yeah,
the gun.
Yeah, the gun. I mean, a tank can roll through a lot of shit, but the gun is the thing, right?
Tanks get stuck in basements.
So yeah, Russia dealing with a small revolution.
Where?
It's on the. It's close. I don't know.
Does it even matter though? Like nothing's gonna matter if somebody got hold of some tanks. And there's this little revolution in the United States. Unless it's at fucking D.C., it doesn't matter.
It just depends on it. It always depends on what you can take and hold.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
well, I mean, Biden's pretty much given California to China.
You say it doesn't matter, but if you could take, like, let's say there was a rebellion, and you could take and hold Tennessee, it causes problems all over the fucking place. Because Tennessee is
gives other people ideas.
Well, it does give other people ideas, but again, Tennessee is a hub for
freedom,
but for movement, right? So, if you want your cocaine in New York City, it comes through Tennessee.
Does it?
Yeah, it comes up to 40, and then once it hits Tennessee, that's when they go to Florida, New York. So, it's a big problem. Like, imagine if I-40 was just closed.
Well, I think that was my concern in the beginning of COVID.
Right? Imagine if I-40 was just closed. It's not. Those trucks that you see on I-40 that are fucking hauling ass all the time, they're not going to Nashville.
Correct.
They're going to fucking D.C., Chicago. They're going to all those places. So if you could control Tennessee, you would create a serious problem for just freedom of traffic, right? You're creating this problem that eventually the federal government would have to deal with.
Right.
Eventually
Holy
they would
shit!
have to deal
Old
with
man Tim Morris.
Oh,
all right. Where the fuck
Russia?
were we?
We were talking about Russia and Russia's, or actually we were talking about tanks taking over Tennessee. Anyway, so Russia has a little bit of a fucking
problem
right now. I am sure. I know they're going to make a.
Is this a problem like the Wagner Group thing where they just got turned around?
I think
didn't that guy die?
It'll get crushed really quick.
Yeah,
because Putin don't. The difference is. Say the difference between it's on the news this morning. The difference between say Biden and Putin is Putin don't play, so he'll send troops down there and they'll crush it pretty quick. I guess.
I would think they would send jets, and that would be the end of that whole fucking convoy.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
They'll push it to the side and leave it there for 10 years.
Probably.
What? Where do you get your news?
Where do I get my news?
Yeah,
From
TikTok.
everywhere. No, not really TikTok. TikTok. There's not a lot of news on TikTok.
So do you know about this?
I mean, I guess there is news on TikTok, but I don't
you know about this TikTok ban thing, right?
that they wanna
the
ban
Act 86 or whatever.
Yeah, they want to get rid of it.
Have you seen any of it?
I haven't seen any of it, but
Do you know it does not It does not even name TikTok in there at all.
of course not.
Do you know it's Patriot Act 3.0 for the internet?
Yeah, because the reason why it doesn't say TikTok is because they specifically named TikTok the last time they tried to push this through, and Mothers of America went bananas.
It says any social media with more than 1 million members.
That's weird.
And it lets them catalog and data mine. It's literally Patriot Act. This is against U.S. citizens. This isn't against TikTok.
No, I know. I know. It's not. There's no. They don't have any. They don't have. There's no source-based evidence for them to ban TikTok. Meaning, again, does China use it to data mine? Of course China uses it to data mine. But so does Apple. So does fucking Google. They're all data mining. This is about influence.
Mm-hmm.
It's about TikTok having the capability to influence what people think. And Mark Zuckerberg and the Googles, they don't want that competition.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's no different than, Google. When you search for straws, Google picks which company they're doing that all the time. So it's bullshit.
There's a lot of homesteading and chicken stuff.
Did you see
TikTok?
Did you see that? But did you hear about when they brought it out? There was a bunch of people on TikTok that were actually talking about killing themselves if TikTok was banned.
So you have senators and Congress people right now whose phones are ringing off the hook. They can't do any business. Mm-hmm. Like the lines are just jammed up over the shit.
Good, because
keep them from doing business.
I mean, they don't really do business anyways, except steal from the American public, or except steal from this great republic of a country we live in. But the idea that the federal government is getting involved in a social media platform that doesn't present any clear or present danger outside of the fact that the Chinese are spying on what mom is doing, fuck those guys. It's all about control. It's all about being able to, because again, all those other companies, the only reason why they're not talking about fucking Facebook, for example, is because Facebook,
it's their guy.
Yeah, Facebook has already said, hey, you guys can have any information you want. So it's fucking bullshit. It is goddamn bullshit.
Seen any cannibalism?
Not lately.
Have you ever seen cannibalism?
Yeah, I've seen cannibalism.
Where?
Overseas.
Where?
People eat people all the time.
So do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. I really don't know what you're talking about.
So
I saw something where they were talking about.
The Haitian government's been overthrown?
Yeah, it's
by gangs.
Fucked.
Yeah. So it's a general barbecue.
A general barbecue? So they're
No, he calls himself barbecue.
Oh yeah, I know General Barbecue.
They are eating people apparently as a just to
I've seen him.
Don't fuck with us, we'll eat you. And that's the guy that is currently in charge of Haiti, I guess. It's funny because Trump said Haiti was a shithole country like 3 years ago, and everybody lost their shit. And then you had a bunch of movie actors flew to Haiti
and didn't do anything,
and then drank out of a coconut and shit.
Didn't do anything.
Sat in a very secure. It's like going to Johannesburg.
Right. Well, they can't even do that now because the government is defunct. Old boy is stuck in the Dominican Republic. He can't even not really president, but the guy who is pretending to be the fucking president
of Haiti.
Is
that where the Houthis are from?
No. Houthis are in Jordan.
Yemen.
Yeah, Yemen.
Isn't it the same place?
Not really.
How far apart are they?
Real far apart.
Okay.
I mean, it's far apart.
All right.
But
why do we give a shit about? Because that's everything right now.
Haiti is completely defunct. Why do we?
Apparently, the Marines were fucking deployed last night to rescue people from Haiti from the embassies and shit.
Okay, that sounds like appropriate because it's defunct. The gangs are actually running Haiti, and unlike presidents before, because we have a fucking totally weak, bitch ass fucking president. That's right. They're not going to do anything about it. They're going to let that place burn to the ground.
What would you do?
The same thing we did the last time. Send the goddamn fucking Marines and the Army in there and be like, square your shit away.
Why do we care about Haiti?
Because unfortunately, it's a country that is very close to us. And it's also a country that shares a border with a country that is very stable. So the Dominican Republic. And it won't take long for that bullshit to spill over into the Dominican Republic. And now you'll have two fucking nations that'll be down there on fire.
Don't we have a Navy base in Dominican Republic?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So you'll have I mean, there may be something down there. You'll have these two countries that were basically imploding that are really right next door to us, right? It's no different, you know, they're really right next door to us. And that will cause, first off, it's going to create a, again, inflection of people who will be fleeing those nations to come here. So it's better that those nations are stable and not shitholes. But because our government is worried about, you know, his, her, and they're going to let that place fall apart. It's no different than when fucking Obama went into Libya.
I'm having signs printed for the bathroom. It says, woman, this means you have a vagina. Men, this means you have a penis. And that's what we're going to put on all the bathrooms. Just in case there's any mistakenness.
So, I mean, that's the problem with Haiti. You can't just let these countries just completely fucking fall apart. And we've been putting billions of dollars into fucking Haiti in aid, but it's just like everything else because we have a fucking weak ass government. They don't pay attention to where the money's going. It usually gets stolen. You know, it's like Hillary Clinton spending a fucking $1 billion apparently down there and they built one house, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's because people are more interested in the clickbait of it than they are of actual results. Meaning if the Hillary Clinton Foundation says, "Hey, we're building houses in fucking Haiti," everybody's like, "Ooh, let me give her more money. Let me give her more money." Nobody ever is like,
I thought
let me see those fucking houses.
I thought for the most part we actually consider Dominican Republic as a United States almost. I thought there was actually some talk about that.
You're thinking of Puerto Rico.
No, I say that because Dominican Republic, they can manufacture in Dominican Republic and claim it as berry compliant.
Maybe.
Like you had all the
compliant stuff.
You had the big two when they did all the berry shit that was manufacturing in Dominican Republic. Because we had machines come back here from Eagle Industries. We bought machines from a vendor that said Eagle Industries, Dominican Republic on them. So they were.
I don't know how they work those treaties, but again, I know people don't want to hear this, and I know people don't really. The problem is liberalism. Liberalism is a cancer that destroys the entire world. People don't understand that some places have to be ruled. Some places have to be
iron fists, like savages.
Have to be ruled,
like Africa.
Unfortunately, Haiti has proven to be one of those places where it has to be ruled. You can't let chaos reign because if chaos reigns, it's a domino effect, and it will continue to gobble up more and more places. I mean, fucking Libya is a shithole right now. We did that.
Yeah, we fucking did that. You know what else we did in Libya? When they bombed that whole fucking pipeline he was putting in. You know, he had a major aqueduct coming through. So Gaddafi said, we're going to green the desert. And they were greening the desert. They had a major, like the biggest aquifer project that there was. And they're watering and putting in, I think he was giving away 100 acres of farmland to anybody that wanted to occupy it and farm. And he also gave $50,000 to any male who took a wife, and that was repayable with 0% interest rate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff he was doing, and he was backing all this shit on gold.
Just the mere fact that we destroyed that government, even if the reality is, even if that aqueduct was viable, it would never be viable because they're in a nationless state. There's nobody that's
currently, but they were not.
Yeah, no, I know.
We did that.
We did that. Right. And for no apparent successful reason, there was no reason whatsoever for us. Like, the reality is Libya posed no clear and present danger whatsoever. They weren't developing nuclear weapons because why? Because he agreed with the United States and said, hey guys, I'm not going to develop nuclear weapons, right? So there was no clear and present danger. There was no reason for us to go into Libya whatsoever, except unless you wanted to destabilize that part of the world.
Why did they, how did she benefit by that?
How did who benefit?
Hillary Clinton.
Well, Hillary Clinton didn't
or who the powers that be.
Hillary Clinton, the weird part about what happened in Libya is it doesn't appear that there was a beneficial reason. Now you could say, so because the Libya thing was really pushed by the European Union, you could say that it was the European Union that was pushing it because of the sweet, sweet crude that Libya had, right? You could say that. Because we came in after the fact. Because, again, the reality is Europe's got no fucking muscle. They got nothing. They can't. The European Union can barely fucking function as a whole. Sorry, Europe, but it's true. You can't name one places where you guys are fucking doing anything. They can't. So what had to happen? Obama had to be convinced that we had to go in there and bomb the shit out of everything in order for the European Union agenda to come to fruition. They're not pulling crude out of Libya. It's a fucking failed state. Normally what happens is if you're going to destabilize a state like Libya, you want to get rid of Gaddafi, right? You're going to destabilize the country, but you're going to put your puppet regime in
the CIA is,
and so that Exxon and Texaco and British Petroleum
KBR
can come in,
and Brown and Root
can come in and fucking get whatever asset you want to get out of that country. But nobody did that. So all we did was create a failed state. There is no strategic reason to create a failed state. That's all we did. I mean, they are doing slave trade in Libya right now.
Huge, bigger than like biblical proportions.
They're doing slave trade in Libya.
Yeah.
That's all we did. That's all Obama did. Imagine that. Obama brought slavery back. It's such a sweet, sweet thing there, Obama. You're a fucking, God, just the liberal agenda is terrible. There's nothing good about it. And so it doesn't make any sense outside of the fact that you had a government under the Obama administration that did not know what the fuck they were doing. The reality is they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, because if they did, again, Libya would be a quasi-dictator state right now that would be somewhat friendly to the United States, and Europe would be getting fucking sweet crude from Libya. But they're not, because first off, the European Union can't do shit. They're a bunch of, it's like a bunch of women in a corner arguing about who's going to do what. The only country that has ever really been able to instill and create these, crazy dictatorships has been America, because we understand that the
French were pretty good at it, weren't it?
We used to understand the game.
Who ruled over India for so long?
Oh, that was the British
Empire.
Yeah, that was the British Empire.
And Africa.
Africa was basically chopped up by the European. You had the Belgians in there, you had the Germans in there, you had the French in there. They kind of cut that country up. But we used to understand how the world works. We don't understand how the world works anymore. And because of that, we have these failed states that are, it's going to keep happening. It's not a fucking thing where you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be like, oh, it's flowers and rainbows in Haiti. Oh, it's a beautiful, peaceful day in Libya. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to keep seeing these states that are going to keep failing all over the world. And then instead of a small fire, a little teeny fire that you could get a couple guys over and throw some water on, you're going to have this big-ass fire where we're going to have to send fucking people all over the world to put these goddamn fires out.
We're going to send them?
The current administration is not going to. the current administration is going to do everything it can to. You could almost say it's on purpose to destabilize.
That was my next question. Is this on purpose so that we send our strong abroad, and then you can cause turmoil and problems in the United States?
I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think it's on purpose. Meaning,
you see that running Biden, like that's the candidate.
He won't be the candidate.
Who's going to be the candidate?
He's not going to be the candidate.
Mike Obama, Big Mike.
They're going to do a bait and switch.
Who will it be?
This is a bait and switch.
Nikki Haley.
No. It'd be like Gavin Newsom.
You think so?
It'll be like Gavin Newsom and
Xi Jinping,
Mike Obama.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if they can get their shit together, because she's already put out.
Let's be real.
Put out feelers as far as money.
Yeah,
like,
I saw
they're already trying to. They're already
Obama
putting out
Foundation.
feelers for money. So, and it's the reason why everybody.
Aren't they kind of running out of fucking time? How much time they got?
Oh, they can. They can go as long as they need to go, because he's going to resign.
Biden.
Biden's going to step down. They're gonna step him down for cognitive reasons. It's a great. Actually, it's a pretty good ploy. It's a pretty good ploy. If you look at, again, setting up your battle space, they're currently setting up we're going all over the place, but they're currently setting up the battle space through news media, meaning you currently have liberal controlled news media outlets that are writing stories about Biden and his cognitive abilities, right? None of this is new. Like, Biden should not have even been eligible to be the president because he already had all those things going on.
You see, they said that he, because of his diminishing mental capacity, he can't be charged for the crimes that he committed 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. They said because he wasn't mentally fit. 7 years ago, you weren't mentally fit, motherfucker.
So they're basically what they're doing is they're setting the battle space, right? They're telling you,
prepping the battle space.
Hey, he's not going to be the president. He's not going to be and so they're setting it up. They've already told you that Trump wins hands down. All the news
Trump
outlets
just won again.
Yeah, but all the news outlets are already saying he wins the 2024 election, or the presidential election hands down. So they're putting that fear in the liberal mind. So they're creating that fear that he's going to be president again. And then when they get to the closer we get to November, or sometime relatively close to November, the Biden administration is going to step down. They're going to be like, can't do it. I have dementia or something. He's going to step down, and they're going to put in new candidates for the presidency. They have to go young. So they're going to go young. Gavin Newsom kind of fits the bill. They're going to go young because they want young people to vote. Young people are very mad at old people. So here's the thing. The Republicans are going to run a campaign against Joe Biden and him being old and his they're going to be really, the problem is the Republicans are going to do a campaign against Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is not going to be he's not, when we get down to close to the election, he's not going to be the guy on the ticket.
How far till the election right now?
8 months, 9 months, somewhere in there. He's not going to be the guy. We're going to get down to the 3-month mark or some shit like that, and they're going to immediately come out and be like, yeah, the president has decided that he's fucking stepping down. And
did you see Trump show up at the UFC again the other night?
No, I didn't see it.
Text Dana White. It's like, hey, I'm trying to get down there. This is like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. He's like, I'm trying to get away, man. I'm trying to get, and he's still on stage, like texting. Rolls in 10 o'clock and fucking it just goes in fucking insane. And him and Melania and their youngest son, I don't know which one that is, sat there until fucking 1 a.m. in the morning and watched those fights and participated. Like, it was fucking badass, man. He's rolled into a UFC fight like a half a dozen times now.
It would be so cool to talk to his Secret Service guys because they're like, holy shit, because again, they're responsible.
Yeah,
they're like him, hate him, whatever, because Secret Services work for plenty of different presidents, but they're responsible. And when a president takes you into places that are not venue secure,
Securable.
right? Venue secure, right? Especially when it's just, hey, we're popping in, right? We're gonna pop into the local sandwich shop. I know those Secret Service agents are like, holy shit! I hope he doesn't get killed. I hope he doesn't get killed. So, anyways,
those are his people, man. The killer's not going to be there at the UFC.
Again,
I understand.
Again, you don't know where crazed blue hair is going to be.
No, there ain't a crazed blue hair at UFC.
You don't know where crazed.
They'd have forgot they were out in public and had their teeth knocked out on the way.
You don't know where you're going to run into Sirhan. Airplanes? Were we talking about airplanes? What were we talking about before you had to go pee?
Do you know about the subway?
That the National Guard is in the subway patrolling the subways?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think something else is going on? Maybe?
Leave it to New York City. Leave it to New York City to become the first city under martial law. It's harder to get into a U.S. subway than cross the border. Come on,
fucking
guys.
Crazy.
Come on, New York.
Who's the black chick that the Attorney General?
Oh, I don't know.
Letitia?
I don't know who it is.
Did you see the fireman? So Trump apparently showed up.
Uh-oh.
And they love that motherfucker.
Of course.
And then Letitia showed up and they booed her.
As it should be.
So the firemen's union is like, hey, if this was you, just come forward and just dime yourself out, and we're going to send you some re-education classes. That's literally what they call them. And she is super, her people are very upset that they booed her off the stage. Like 90% of them apparently. Like, we're not having it.
Forget we're not having it. Forget Letitia for booing her or whatever her name is. You really need to go after your union reps, and you need to crush those union reps. Because if you have union reps that are telling you that you need re-education, you need to crush those people. All those union reps should be run out, period. I mean, if you're because firefighters, you guys are badass. It needs to be pitchforks and torches. You need to run those motherfuckers out, period. You should identify yourselves, and then you should go run those motherfuckers out. Not, we're going to have an election, and no, you should pitchfork and fucking torch those guys out of there, because that's a cancer, guys.
That's why they're
fucking cancer.
That's why they're trying to crush people so much over the January 6th and stuff, because they need to make an example of them so they do not have those uprisings.
The problem is for that, right? First off, no one, unless you're a crazed liberal, like if you're a crazed liberal, then you think January 6th was something, right? You have to
I don't think they even think. I don't think they think.
But if you're a crazed liberal, you think January 6th was something. Everyone else knows it was nothing.
Correct.
Like, everyone knows it was nothing. Literally, liberals took a fucking bomb in there and blew up the Rotunda.
Capitol building.
So, no.
Look up Weather Underground.
The fucking, the January 6th was nothing. It was actually, all that was a guided tour that went astray. That's all. That's all it was a guided tour. When you have police officers escorting people around the Rotunda, that's just a guided tour. So January 6th was nothing. And so the problem is, it doesn't matter what you do. Or, for example, the current people in charge, right? Prosecuting or holding these people for so long without bail.
Currently, right now.
Still
having trials.
All that shit that they're doing. The very people that they are trying to scare into not doing that again, all they see is the abuse of power. That's all they see. All that the people on the right see is abuse of power and a fucking puppet government that is trying to destroy this country. So it's not helping. Again, this is just like Donald Trump. Goes back to Donald Trump. If the Democratic Party would have done a peaceful, again, remember, peaceful transition, guys. We've always done peaceful transition. If the Democratic Party would have done a peaceful transition from Republican to Democrat and went, go do whatever it is you're going to do, Donald Trump, have fun, he wouldn't even be relevant. The American people would have already forgot about Donald Trump. The only reason why Donald Trump is popular right now, and the only reason why Donald Trump is still relevant, is because they keep using the full weight of the federal government to try and prosecute him on shit that ain't legit. And so You have a whole wealth of people who are going, that fucking government is abusive. You have all these other people that are like, see, we told you the government was fucked up. Look, they're even going after Donald Trump. The Democratic Party is their own worst enemy. If they would have let if they would have just been like, boom, Donald Trump, get the fuck out of here. Same thing with January 6th. They really, really should have went, all right, who's the motherfuckers that broke the windows? Oh, those were fucking FBI agents. That sucks. Who was standing behind the FBI agents when they broke the windows? Okay, we're going to charge these people with trespassing. It's done. It's over. We're not talking about this again. It wouldn't create a zeitgeist. The problem is what they have now done is they've created this date. They've created this date. It's not about treason. It's about abuse of federal power and when they killed an unarmed civilian. That's all it's about. So all they did is they created the Democratic Party. Guys, you are fucking retarded. I am sorry. But all they do is create these things that keep the hate going instead of just, again, all they have to do is go, mean orange guy is no longer president. Stop talking about him. Let's talk about the agendas that Americans really care about. We wouldn't even be having a discussion about this election. We really wouldn't. If they would have done the American business at hand when Dum Dum got elected, we wouldn't be having a discussion about Donald Trump winning an election because everybody'd be like, who cares about Donald Trump?
So you think he's going to pardon them when he gets in, let all those guys out?
No, because Donald Trump's never going to set foot in the White House.
So you think like the Proud Boy guy, what, they give him 15 years or something? Think he's going to do 15 years?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. There's some people in there. I mean, it's crazy when the U.S. federal government gives 15 years to their confidential informant.
Do you know that just prior to this, there was riots outside the White House when they burnt that fucking church down, and Trump had to be taken into the bunker, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't deploy the National Guard.
Didn't arrest anybody either.
No. They burnt that motherfucking church down.
If my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, guys, so, bleep bloop in the comments. My opinion is if I was Donald Trump, I really would, I know I've said this before, I would write the letters, and I would basically write the letters to all the heads of the deep state and be like, guys, there's going to be a peaceful transition of power. You are going to be responsible for said peaceful transition of power. And there's going to be no retribution when I become president. We are going to do the business that America needs to do. I would write those letters and I would make sure that all those people have them. And then, inform them that during my tenure, you're going to resign your position. That's the only retribution there's going to be.
What do you think?
Those motherfuckers are all afraid that Trump is going to go after them. That's what the deal is. And that's why they got to do something about it.
What do you think all those letters that were handed out at George Bush's funeral?
I don't know.
Were all about. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Because everybody looked at him pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe it was, hey, we're going to arrest. Maybe it was, hey, we're getting ready to arrest Epstein.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
His brother says that he wasn't killed.
I mean, I don't know. It makes for an interesting conspiracy theory, but let's be clear. Killing Epstein tied up a lot of loose ends. Having him out there somewhere floating around, in the Bahamas drinking margaritas, that's a big loose end. Nah, he's dead as fuck.
So what do you think about the National Guard in the subways? There's rampant crime. Some dude kicked some old man onto the tracks. They were able to save him.
But I don't. I'm not. Sorry, New York City. I don't care. You've created a political system within your city that allows criminals to go free. So you're going to get what you get. Is it an abuse of power? Probably not to have the National Guard. I mean, what the National Guard guys, all they're doing is augmenting the police. And so what it does is it frees the police So what they do with the National Guard really is they're going to put them in places where a cop would normally be standing, and then it would free that police officer to actually execute the things that a police officer needs to be doing, right? If you're standing on a street corner as prevention, right? You're standing there, or you're in the subway because you don't want little old ladies getting fucking beat up.
Yeah, they're running like Garrett metal detectors. And
you're even still, if you don't want old ladies to get beat up, then that police officer is not executing his job very well. He's just a deterrent. Where if you have a National Guard soldier standing there, and that police officer can be part of executing high risk warrants or whatever, going after real bad guys. So in effect, it might be helpful, but I would assume that New York City, the New York City DA and the New York City system is so inept that the added benefit of having National Guard guys there is doing nothing to deter the overall crime statistics within New York City. I mean, the reality is the fucking mayor of New York City, by calling the National Guard, the minute the National Guard steps foot in your town, your crime statistics should go in the toilet. There shouldn't be any crime, because now your law enforcement officers are freed up to do all the things that they should have been doing that they couldn't do because they're hamstringed by old ladies getting beat up in the subway. But I guarantee you that none of it's changed.
Have you seen?
Because they just keep releasing them out on the streets.
Right. Yeah, they're not holding any of them. Not only are they not holding them, they're not holding them, releasing them, and then they're actually committing murders and rapes and such. Have you seen? I think it was Pennsylvania. There's several states that this has come out, or several cities, where law enforcement has come out and said, "Hey, we're not responding to A, B, C, D, E, F, G." Right. So basically, in effect, they've told criminals, "Hey,
you can get away with all these crimes."
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that was the same thing that happened in San Francisco and other in other places in California. Was when they raised the amount for felonies. So meaning theft.
Yeah, $1,000.
Yeah,
so
when you raise the amount. So if I steal $600 worth of beer, they're not even going to fucking send a police officer. So that's why Walgreens and CVS was getting ripped off.
They've closed down.
Yeah,
they've literally left
because basically when law enforcement comes out and says these are the new rules, it's just the new rules that.
It's just like Walmart closing down stores in the fucking hood in Atlanta and San Francisco and shit. Yeah. All those companies are pulling out of there.
Until the people of those neighborhoods demand that law enforcement do their jobs and that the people that are representing them do their jobs, that's just going to keep happening.
You have a township in Connecticut that has taken it upon themselves, so they have armed patrol, so the citizens are jocked up in gear and just patrolling the neighborhoods and shit. They're like, we're done with this crime. Cops aren't handling it. We're going to handle it. Now, who knows what that really looks like?
Well,
they got Bob fucking with his armor carrier in a photo. I mean, how many are there? I don't know.
It's like when New York City had the, what were they called? Guardian Angels.
Yeah. We had Guardian Angels in, remember Balboa Park? They had some shit go down.
Guardian Angels.
They always made those guys out to be the bad guys.
Walking around in subways and stuff. Yeah, you know why?
Because it made them look bad because they were doing their job.
It's outside the realm of government. So when people are policing, it's outside the realm of the government. And if they can do it better, then why are we paying those other people to do it? So that's the problem with those type of groups.
Yeah,
the problem with those type of groups
is police force and fucking your problems go away. A lot of them.
That's the problem with those, because again, most police officers are very hamstrung with the rules and regulations that they have to follow, and a lot of that is politically generated, right? It's just politically generated, and you're executing the wants of individuals that don't really give a shit about the city, right? They don't care. Fucking the prosecuting attorney for New York City doesn't care about the city.
Right. None of the problems he creates are his problems.
So it's just, I don't know. It's a shitty situation to be in. But again, if you look at it, it's all liberal run cities, and that is I guess the utopia you wanted, so it's the utopia you get. I don't know the solution.
You think you're seeing a fracture across the United States, and you think you're seeing states that are going to, balkanize or whatever, or close down transportation, like you said earlier? Are we heading there?
I mean, we're heading towards an election that is going to be cantankerous. Okay, we're heading towards an election that's going to be very interesting at the best. Again, maybe everybody's too comfortable. Maybe, they come out and say, Gavin Newsom got 81 million votes. He's the president, or whoever, right? And everybody just is like, whatever, who gives a shit? And nothing happens. I mean, there's always that possibility. The reality is the left is much more apt to react to stimulus within the news cycle than the right. It's just the way it is. The right tends to stay home. The right tends to be like, leave us alone. We don't want to fucking deal with your bullshit. I don't care what happens in the city. Where the left is like, oh my God, can't get an abortion in Tennessee. Let's burn the Capitol down. The left is easily excitable. The right's not. So I don't know. Maybe nothing happens. Maybe all this is for naught.
So Gavin Newsom wins, right, against Trump?
No.
Do you really think,
no.
If had Trump said roll out, what do you think would have fucking happened? Had he just simply, this is it, guys. Motherfuckers would have moved. I believe that wholeheartedly.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. It's why the.
And you think they're going to be able to do it a second time?
It's why the January 6th. It's why the FBI didn't arrest a single person who was armed at January 6th. I don't think so. I think, again, there's a lot of comfort in this country. People are comfortable. You and I are comfortable. I'd like to be more comfortable. Guys, join my Patreon. But we're comfortable.
What's your Patreon?
Dog Kennel Little Spoon.
The cows.
Yeah, the cows. People are comfortable, and so I don't know. I don't know if he'd have been like, roll out. And I also don't believe that Trump would have done that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Trump would have done that. I think
My point is,
Trump is more American than people want to believe.
Do you think they're going to be able to do that a second time? People know what the fuck is up. There's not. I think you're not going to talk to a single fucking man on the street anywhere. I think they can
confuse. I think they can confuse. Well, again, right, and that's why I'm saying Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee when it comes down to vote. When you go into the room and you go to push your little shaft or whatever it is, computer button or whatever, his name's not going to be on the ballot anymore.
See, they got busted out in New York registering fucking illegals to vote.
Oh, yeah, everybody's doing it. New York's doing it. I mean, California's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
I met a young man who has been vaccinated 17 times. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's like, no. I'm like, okay, tell me what happened. He was in Hawaii.
Oh, he had to get all vaccinated to come home?
He had to get all vaccinated to get on the plane, and he had to get vaccinated to come home. Like, he has had 17 different fucking vaccinations since 2019. Is that what he said? Insane. And seemingly he doesn't seem like he's dying or anything. I mean, he definitely needs to eat meat, work out more, but just bizarre.
Well, that's, again, we don't know the long-term effect of.
No, we don't.
Of 17 vaccinations. But again, whatever. It doesn't kill everybody. It's a selective killing. That's the whole point of Bill Gates doing all that.
Do you see they're having problems with the blood supply? They're saying that the vaccinated blood is contaminating. They're having a problem getting unvaccinated blood, and they can't use vaccinated blood to give to the mass of the people, I guess. Have you not seen that?
I don't know. That's weird. You would think they would be all excited about blood that has
mRNA in it.
Did
you see the laws they were trying to pass in Tennessee? They're trying to pass a law that you have to disclose how much of the mRNA vaccination is in vegetables currently. And they're trying to pass it under the guise that they have to put forth this information because you might eat 12 heads of lettuce where I eat one head of lettuce, now you are dosed, and what it is the dosage. And what they're basically saying is, yes, this is actually out there in the food supply currently being used. We want you to have to say what and how much is in each of these and label it. And what they're basically telling you is, yeah, we've already done this shit. It's out there in the grocery store right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's already in the meat. It's already in everything. Yeah, you're dealing with it, whether you got the injection or not. The question is, does it, because you're administering it from a different way, right? Because you're eating it. Does it still do the same thing that they really intended it to do?
Well, what is it they
right?
did?
Because if again, think about it. If it really does the same thing that they intended it to do by eating it, then they never ever had to force the shot. They could have just introduced it within the food system, and it would, like fluoride in the water, right?
Yes.
They could have fluoridated. They could have damn fluoridated all the food, and then everybody would have ate it, and then you wouldn't have had any arguments about whether or not you got the fucking shot. Now, the shot, what most people don't understand is the mandatory shot was not because they wanted people to be healthy. The mandatory shot was so Pfizer could make its money back that it lost on the opium deal. So because of opioids and all the money that Pfizer had to pay out to the federal government, the shot was forced so Pfizer could recover all that fucking money. They made tenfolds of what they lost.
I would go even further and say that it was never about making you healthy, and it actually was something insidious. And that's the whole thing with pushing all that whole mess out there.
Well, I mean, maybe.
It never was. I mean, you have the CDC right now saying just treat COVID as though it's the flu. Like, that's the current protocol.
Well, because COVID was the flu.
Yes.
Because COVID was the flu. COVID was nothing more than the flu.
Yeah, we're definitely getting demonetized here. Did you do anything cool this week?
No. Well, yeah, I did some shooting. Did some long gun shooting.
How's your EcoFlow?
Good.
Have you used it? How big is it?
Which one?
How many you got?
Well, I bought the EcoFlow Power Management System Pro 2 or whatever. So it's like, they're a lot smaller than I thought they would be. Air conditioner is about the same. The air conditioner heater is about the same size. It's a little fatter.
You have an air conditioner? They make an air conditioner?
Yeah, that's why I went with EcoFlow.
EcoFlow battery pack air conditioner heater.
Yeah. Interesting. And so that's why I went with EcoFlow, and then a 400-watt solar panel to go with that.
How big is the panel?
Does
it fold or anything?
Yeah, it folds. It's half the size of the table, and then folds out into 4 sections. So it'll work perfect on the roof.
Now the EcoFlow stuff's all expandable, right? You can just keep packing.
Yeah, it's just like your Blue Eddy, where you can plug more batteries into it. But the one I have is a 2,400 watt unit.
Okay. Have you used it?
Yeah, I've played with it all.
Did you put a microwave into it yet?
I have not put a microwave into it because I'm not going to use a microwave.
But that's the anything that produces heat electricity, heat, electricity. You'll run it down. You'll get a good idea of what it will.
That's the heating and air conditioning unit. So is it the air conditioner or is it the heater? I don't know, but that is supposed to use the most power. So that's really why I got the system, because it's all pluggable to itself, and it's all. I'm having a little problem with the air conditioner, but I don't know. We'll see.
What's the problem?
The manual controls don't work well, right? The manual turning it on and turning it off don't work well with the manual controls.
You have to use your phone app.
You have to use your phone app,
Always.
and I fucking hate that.
Always.
You goddamn tech giants, you need to stop doing that shit. Why? I don't need 9 million things on my fucking phone to control everything. It's dumb.
Well, if they can integrate that into your life, you have to have your phone. I think it's more insidious than what we're
Well,
actually
the other
thinking.
thing too, I was thinking about it because I had to set up, I had to register the products and stuff like that. And EcoFlow is actually a Chinese company.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to register where you're at.
Yep.
All that shit, right? So you register all that shit. And it wouldn't Bluetooth connect. So again, Bluetooth is local, right? It's a local thing. It would not Bluetooth.
Well, Bluetooth is in your phone, right?
Yeah,
it's to the device, to the phone, 75 feet. It should definitely work.
It's a local thing, right? Meaning it's a local thing. So I wouldn't have to worry about the Chinese getting into my air conditioner, right? Because I'm Bluetooth local. But the Bluetooth would not connect to the units until after I connected to the Wi-Fi and said, hey, this is where my fucking shit is at, and this is what it's doing.
So I smashed another GoPro the other day, and I had one delivered. Amanda was able to get it locally from Walmart, and they delivered it at like 7 in the morning. So I've got a brand new GoPro when Lance gets here, and I'm trying to turn it on to film.
When's Lance getting here?
He was here.
Oh, okay.
Lance was here. So I'm trying to film Lance as my first interaction with Lance. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. And the fucking GoPro won't power up. You can't record with it. I have to download the app to the phone, sync it to the phone, sync it to my account, register the GoPro to just even get the GoPro to do shit. It wouldn't, you physically, like you used to be able to just kind of skip that. You cannot anymore.
Yeah, that's the same way with all the EcoFlow stuff. If I couldn't, I could turn it all on and use the battery pack and all that shit. But in order for it to work smoothly together, I needed to do that.
The new Honda generators all have an app that you have on your phone, so you can control from your phone to turn your Honda generator on or off, or function it, or check your fuel rate. Everything's right there on your phone. You don't have to go to it.
I understand the lazy convenience of it, but man,
I know
the phone. It's just
there's no mechanical anymore for anything.
There's the phone. But I mean, guys. We're really putting a lot into this thing that is so easily turned off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've seen them turned off. I mean, you just saw them fucking turned off last week.
Turned off.
Yeah.
That, I don't know. I don't like it. I mean, why can't I fucking just?
And
push
more
a
and
button
more,
and
you
turn shit
can't
on?
just get a mechanical option. Are the diesel heaters on your radar? Are you aware of like the
that they're trying to ban them?
No. Oh. So like this, well, I'm sure they are, but they have these little boxes, man. They're about this big, and you can get them for a couple $100. You can get them off Amazon, eBay. There's some quality ones also coming out of like Europe. They're built for like diesel truck drivers and shit, and they'll heat this whole fucking room.
Yeah, I've seen
and they just sip
diesel. Diesel heaters. Yeah, I've seen it. Well, I mean, hopefully because the dog kennel is so small that. That this EcoFlow thing, this EcoFlow air conditioner heater is going to be just exactly what I need.
I think
it's going to work.
Because I see guys mounting these on the outside of trailers and stuff. So the heat's inside, and then they just duck the exhaust right through. Yeah.
The EcoFlow also makes, which I think that's the next thing I'm going to get, is they make a propane gas
conversion
generator.
For it.
No, they make a propane gas generator, so you can use your little propane tank to charge up all your batteries.
So Honda has that. Yeah. There's a bunch of companies that do a Predator right now. You can get a Predator. Now they're having problems with some of the Predator stuff. You can get one right from Harbor Freight that's a tri-fuel. It'll do nat gas, propane, and gasoline.
I'm a product whore, bro. I'm not gonna mix and match my products.
I like the idea of running a propane generator just for convenience of it. But if the power goes out for real, we ain't burning motherfucking propane in that generator. We're using the propane for other shit. We're going to run, fuel.
I don't know.
There's also, do you know about wood gasification?
Yeah.
So there's a Honda generator right now you can buy from a company, and looks just like a Honda EU generator, and it has another box, and you put firewood in the box, and it fucking runs on wood gasification. You can get them for between $4,000 to $6,000 depending on the output.
Of course, those things are going to be expensive.
Yep.
Yep.
They look very nicely built.
But don't worry, John. When you have to use your gasification generator, the burning of wood will be illegal.
Oh, I'm sure.
You won't be able to cut the king's trees down.
Did you see people in Germany right now, certain places in Germany, they're standing for 2 days in line to get coal. They've already cut down all the fucking forest that's within walking distance of them, apparently.
I mean, possible. I don't know. They put themselves in that position. The European Union had the ability to be, or even Germany, they had the ability to be power independent, and they chose to go green. And so, sorry guys.
Yeah, I heard Germany's trying to stand up all their nukes again.
Enjoy your cold winters.
All right. Well, guys, we're going to jump off of here and run over to Patreon. We got some good questions in Patreon. If you're interested in joining Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com. SOE Tactical Gear is our Patreon. Scully has a Patreon as well, Dog Kennel and Little Spoon. Make sure you join his Patreon there. He's got several levels. He's way cooler than we are.
No, I'm not.
And he gives a ton of shit away. Like, you have a really good chance of winning some shit, and it's good shit.
We're going to give some real good shit away.
Can I just buy it instead of you giving it to those guys? Can I buy some of that stuff?
No.
What are you giving away?
I'm going to give an ACOG away.
That's neat.
Yeah.
What else?
We're doing a Surefire flashlight this week, M600.
How about some big backpacks? You got any big backpacks?
I mean, you have all the cool backpacks that I have. I
feel like you probably have some I don't.
No. You've got all the same.
Have you seen my butter churn museum?
No, I haven't seen the butter churn museum.
I think I'm going to start a big backpack / butter churn museum.
It'd be cool if you were, you know what would be cool?
See my new shark?
If we go to where are we going? For the 5K?
It already happened.
What?
It just happened this week. And I know.
Son of a bitch. I've been training for that. What do you mean it happened this week?
It just happened this Saturday. Friday, Saturday.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I got to train for something else then.
We're going to Overland?
I've been telling everybody.
We're going to Overland?
God damn it. I need a calendar. Somebody send me a cool calendar that I can put these dates on so I don't miss this shit. Oh, God.
All right. We're rolling over to Patreon, guys.
All right. Patreon.
See you there.